just my God, it's like, am I connected properly? Is it? So it's so stressful. How you doing?
I'm okay. I've had a day of it with the technology as well. I've had, oh my God, just since this afternoon, I've had non-stop technical.
Yeah, you got to get your head around it. It's yeah, I've been doing the same. I've been consolidating hard drives because I've been doing Zillah's film for so long. I've been filling up hard drives, and I don't ever delete anything. I just get another hard drive, and then I put down a machine, like build another machine on another hard drive.
Yeah.
And then so I've now got four terabyte hard drives, basically with the same stuff on it. And I'm like, I need to consolidate stuff, and it's nerve-wracking.
It is. I've had my laptop was like, no, you need to get rid of some stuff. So I've been putting stuff on hard drives today, like you have. And it's
I bought SSD ones. I used to use the old disc ones. Oh my God, I wouldn't be able to do this film, Zillah's film, without the SSDs. It's ridiculous. I had to buy a new computer and everything. I mean, even though we've been working on Zillah's film for easy 25, 30 years, like from the very first time we did the filming, the amount I've been through 3 computers. It was only last year I could buy one that was had the capability to put all Zillah's footage in one, have it all there. And oh my God, so it was only really last year we started editing this film. Nuts, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah. But it's going to be, you know what? This film's awesome. Like, she's a punk rocker. That's brilliant. I think it's brilliant what you're doing.
So I keep saying to Zillah, it's going to be so valuable for so many people, and it's going to open the eyes to so many things. It really is. We're right at the very end. I've got credits on the front at the end and at the front, and I'm just trying to pass it past the director. So I'm now putting like pictures in, and we got story from Michelle from Begandage, who's been photographed outside the 100 Club. And she told us a story of going to see the Sex Pistols at the 100 Club, word for word. Oh my God, I had goose pimples.
Was she there? 76, was she?
Yeah, she got pictures. She got photos. I couldn't believe it, but I didn't really listen to the interview. I set it all up for Zillah. But when I came back and edited it, I was like, oh my God. And then she says, and then I spoke to Sid. And I'm like, what? Speaking of fucking Sid Vicious. Oh my God. So we just took the voiceover, so I'm now putting some pictures on top, and we're slotting that into the film. I've got a working version for Zillah, so it's just we've got to put the bit in, like photos and stuff that she wants, and I've got to pass the director. And then once that's that, we're like, we're that close. It's nearly done. Fucking hell, it's gonna be mad. It's so exciting. I told Zillah from the beginning. It's amazing the amount of people that didn't want to support her. And I'm talking like institutions.
Yeah, she said that.
British Library totally fucked her over. So anyway, this is going to be for all them. I said there's the awards ceremony. We'll be like, we'd like to thank. Oh, that's right, nobody. So I've been working solely on. I've taken. I told you, look, there's no point in me working on any music and stuff. Let's just crack on with the film. And like I said, I had to buy a new Mac. I know how I bought a Mac with like hardly any stuff in it, second hand, and it was the only one that displayed the serial number. And it actually had some like Mac, backup stuff. So it was the only legit one on the market, on eBay for me to buy second hand. So I find I've done that. So I've got a super duper computer. It cost about 20 odd grand if you bought it new.
Bloody hell.
Prices, like, if I dialed in everything I wanted on a new Mac, it comes to £32,000, and that's without a screen. The screens are £5 grand, like the super duper one. Otherwise, it's only the big people that get to make these misogynistic films about the Ramones and the Sex Pistols and the Clash. Like they're the only people that existed.
Yeah.
Don't start me on that.
Don't start me on that, Sid.
Systemic misogyny. Get out. It's the last thing we do.
As we're getting older, a lot of people don't want to know. They don't want to know older women, and we're sort of having to make our stand a bit more.
Well, as promoters and artists, just trying to just
even just play. Yeah, even just playing gigs is like there's certain, I won't mention the names of places. There's certain festivals that don't want to, who say they promote women, but they don't promote older women. You've got to be a younger woman.
Yeah, one of the girls from America who plays for 45 Grades spoke specifically about that. About, when you ring up for gigs and they know it's a girl, you're like, it's really hard to get a date. And when you do, it's like, you want to be paid, and how much is it? And just say it's $500 for the girl. And then if he goes, this girl goes, so I ring back and I go, hey, this is Clan. And said the same details. They're like, oh yeah, next Saturday, $1,500. And so it's like, I'm not making it. It's like I've made a film about. I told Zillah, she said, stop saying this. I'm lifting the lid on systemic fucking misogyny everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh my God, it's horrific. Now I've memorised the whole film. When you work it out, Marie, it's terrible. It really is. And yeah, so then you add, it's hard enough to get any of the jobs as a woman, and then you add to the, you get out that the catchment area of things that they want, which is like young, which is, mid-20s is too old for them, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's why we do what we do, and who we are. We still write songs about, I researched stuff so much. It's infected my brain. When we wrote the song about Jimmy Savile and I did some research, it makes me sick. Yeah. 9/11, don't start me on that. Oh my God. And they're still saying, it's leaking out bit by bit, There's loads of people just going, oh look, there's clearly a video effect crashing into the building. I mean, they're just going to get away with murder. 100 years, we should have had free energy. Everyone that's done it since has been murdered. They could have given cannabis to everyone for free. But, like I said, many years ago, they'll wait until they can give it to you for massive amounts of money. They'll let the rich people do it, but we can't do it for free. It's
like the internet. That was never intended to be sold. It was made to be free for people to use the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's really weird. It's funny because, like, even starting from being a drummer and knowing Zillah. See, Zillah's always been, like I tell everyone who joins the band, Zillah has bankrolled fucking everything. Seriously. I'm a loser. I didn't have the bank account. I financial money. I've got great ideas. But it's Zillah that glued all these ideas together. I'm doing this film because she's fucking genius.
I know she is. She really is.
Yeah, she worked. I said to her the other day, I've never heard Zillah sing out of tune. She sings around the house all the time. I even said to her, she said, I won't sing during the interview. Because honestly, she sings all the time. That's how I didn't say, Zillah, do you want to be in a band with any anxiety left? Because you're just my girlfriend. It was because she sings all the time. She'll sing a medley of songs. One couple of hours she was in the kitchen making dinner when I'm editing, and she sang like 16, 17 songs. She won't sing the whole thing. She'll sing the hook, the melody hook. Yeah. And sometimes it will drive me mad. She hasn't finished it because I'm like, oh, do the end bit, and like, but it's note perfect. And I showed her the other day. She won't believe me. I said, you've got no ego. I said, just sing a note. I don't know what music. I don't say it. I'll sing A minor words. I said, just sing the note using, and she sang it. And I even don't know. I said, how do you do that vibrato? She's like, what's that? You know, but I don't know. And then I got this, the pitch tune thing that, and I went do it again, and I showed her, and it went green. Hang on. I didn't even tell her what note to sing. I said, pick any note and sing it. She sang it, and I showed her the thing, and it said that it was perfectly in tune. And she's got no ego for this. She's other people would show off so much. If I was like, that's it, right? So I'm doing this film, I'm doing this for her, because nobody else would do it for her. It would have cost hundreds of thousands. They wouldn't have edited it like the way I know it. So it's going to be so good, Mary. I can't stop. I've had to stop telling people because we haven't done it.
Do you want me to edit some of this out as well, if you want me to, about the film?
Yeah. It's what we do. It's like I said, when I started as a drummer, when I met Zillah, Zillah even told me, so again, I'm from London. I am passionate about the film. It's the story of punk.
You and Zillah aren't originally from London, are you?
No, we're not.
Like me? I'm not.
Zillah's from Liverpool. I was from Birmingham. Yeah, so like a brief story of me getting to London. I lived in Birmingham. It was horrible. It wasn't clicking. And I think I was at college, Cambridge College, and I came to London in 1977. I wrote a load of letters because I needed to get out of Birmingham. He was going to do my heading, right? He was doing my heading, so I wrote 50 letters to places in mainly Knightsbridge, in the hotels, got a job, and moved into Notting Hill Gate where they had a flat, and basically I lived there, worked for a few months, punk, I'd heard the Pistols on the Grundy show, so had started bleaching my hair, ripping my clothes up, and everyone from the village I lived at just thought I was mental. And because I was 6 foot, six foot, no, Zillah can sound 6'10". I was 6'9". I was fucking huge. Bleached there, and so 17. So left college with full qualifications after a year. Came to and moved to Nottingham Gate, and then before I knew it, the Pistols released Nevermind the Bollocks. There was a Virgin Records on Notting Hill Parade there, and they had all the posters, and I started going to gigs then, and I think the first gig I went to, I think it was Mekons in Queensway or something like that. I found Adam the Ants. Went to Adam the Ants, and I couldn't believe it. And I swear to God, they had 2 drummers when they were just called Ants. But I might be getting that wrong. But at some point, I was fully inspired by 2 drummers drumming together. The syncopation of it all, it was just blew me away. And I'd been playing my nan's knitting needles since I was 5. I don't know, on the sofa. She had these great big knitting needles, and as a kid I used to play, right. But then I also wanted to be a guitarist like Mark Bolan. So funny how it's all come full circle. But yeah, so basically, yeah. So I went to see the Ants, met a guy called Richard Heslop. We were great mates. I kind of got chucked out of my job because I washed my hair. I had my hair spiked up, and I washed it in the sink in the morning. Got caught by the head chef, so that was it. I lost my flat, moved in with Richard. So I lived with Richard for a bit, and we were devout Ants crew. Like, we were there all the time. I remember being the Electric Ballroom being the best times I've ever seen the Ants. Just absolutely brilliant. Jordan coming out. Fucking brilliant. But 2 drummers, it blew me away. And then Richard said, we're going to see a band called Crass. You should come. And I was like, you traitor. How could you like have a band? We're like a devout Ants band. So then we went to Conway Hall to see Crass. We were standing at the end of the hall by the stage, and at the other end there were double doors at Conway Hall, and these double doors flew open, and there were 5 of the most amazing girls, and me and Richard were like, holy fuck. Wow, I couldn't believe it. And in the middle was Zillah, and left and right of her was her friend Yvonne and sister Rachel and Olga and Sandra, I think. It was amazing. So met Zillah there, and that's it. And that's it. I think it's 47 years now we've been together.
Wow.
But, so the drumming part of this is, like I was saying, Zillah bankrolled most of this. I remember I got my first kit, if this is relevant, so I can bang on about drums, don't it? Everyone gets ready, and really bore you, isn't it? I quote Zillah said to me when she first saw me drum, which was more than likely at Poison Girl's house when I moved in with them, and we used to sneak into the rehearsal room when they were out, and I'd play on Lance the Bottle's kit, Gary's kit, and I'd do that quite a lot. And I remember getting caught and getting into trouble and stuff. So, but I'd never actually played a kit, like a real drum kit, until we started Rubella Ballet when I was moved into Poison Girl's house at Burley House in Epping, probably late 78, early 79. I can't remember now. Because we say Rubella Ballet was formed 79, so I think that's probably right. So then, I remember just like we'd go everywhere, go loads of gigs, and we went to the Triad in Bishop Stortford, and we went to see Epileptics, and I can't remember the other band that was there, but the point is, we were standing there with the rest of the crowd, and there are the Epileptics. I haven't got a clue who they are. They come on stage, and Colin announced, we haven't got a drummer, he hasn't turned up, and anyone in the audience play drums. And I'm sort of like, and Zillah jabbed me in the ribs, and I'm like, what? And she's like, you do it. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking do that. And she's like, go on. Right. And so I got up on stage and basically played through the whole set. They said to me, how the fuck did you know our songs? they were all baffled. There was like, I did the changes, the same changes they did, and I did the build-ups and everything, and I mean, I don't know, I just drummed to the fucking songs. I didn't have a plan. It wasn't worked out. I didn't have a method or a formula or anything like that. I think that's probably what Zillah probably told me to say, because I don't know. She says I'm a natural. I never thought about that. I just played it. Annoyed people are playing on my fucking legs all the time. You know, my mum would be like, "Shut up!" And I didn't know about rudiments or anything like that. How to play a paradiddle until I met a couple of drummers from being in Rubella Ballet. That was kind of my introduction into playing drums and my introduction into playing for Epileptics. The drummer that didn't turn up, well, he's fact. And they were just going nuts about how good I was, which was pretty cool. But at the same time, I was also Rubella Ballet, you know. So we had Pete Fender and Gemstone. Yeah, I'm going to write on a book. I do have a book prepared. It's got, I've written 130,000 words. It probably just needs consolidating a bit. It's easier to edit something that's already done than to build it. After I've done this film, I'm going to get into that, and it does detail. I've written about all this in detail, so that'd be pretty cool.
When's Zillah's film going to be out?
And of course, it's 50 years of punk this year, so I have to have it done. Yeah. Like pronto. I am literally going. Like I have a 1 hour 40 minutes version, which has been edited down from an unbelievable amount of footage for fucking hell. So, like I said, I've only really been able to edit the way I can without it crashing and everything since last year. You know, I mean, things like Final Cut Pro, 400 quid. Long story short, I have a working version to show Zillah, but she says before she saw it, we got Michelle round and we recorded her saying a recording of her talking about the 100 Club, which is really relevant. So I'm plonking that into the Sex Pistols bit. We've done chapters. The way to get all this information, it was just immense. So I said to Zillah, the best thing to do, let's make like the chapters, like before punk, being in the band, clothes and fashion, going to be much easier to digest, even if we do it in small bits. So they should put all those together, and it comes to 140 minutes. Yeah, so I've just got to put some additional photos and stuff, and just like the additional bits you do in the last bit. So this is it, the last run. It's got to be done. I'm working day and night. I mean, I work better from like 10 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So it can really fuck my days up.
You find that with most creative people, it's like the evening seems to be the time that you're most productive. Well, I find that.
Yeah. You know, like then, there's no neighbours, there's no calls, the buses stop, there's no fucking noise, there's nothing. It all drops.
Yeah.
And even to the point where sometimes get up in the morning when Zill's, I get up like extra early, like 4 a.m. when Zill's in bed, because then I can just focus, put my headphones on, turn noise cancellation off, and just focus. Otherwise, to work on something, if you don't, I mean, you must have a space when you work. You have to shut the door and just isolate yourself.
Yeah.
So it's hard to fit my sort of normal life into that as well. And plus, I've got to go to a fucking hospital and this, that, and the other, and it just gets in the way. You store everything in your prefrontal cortex, and if you mix anything else into that, then it's diluting. It's like you're like a computer. You have a certain way of remembering everything, and that's what the computer is when you're working on programs like that. Like Final Cut, it's nuts. I managed to get the latest version. I managed to manifest. That's a good word.
I like that word, manifest.
The new version. Should I be upscaling it? And I've decided not to. And you know, even those programs to make your footage look, where you can just dial in the tint and make it look a little bit sharper than it was before. They're like 400 quid each, and it's ridiculous. I've got to put all this down to Zillah. I didn't pay for all these computers and everything. Zillah's bankrolled, like I tell everyone in the band, Zillah's bankrolled the band from day one, you know. And she's went and bought all the equipment. We went on tour. We'd go to like the shop in Leytonstone. We'd pile out you know, I'd need like a load of skins and a new cymbal and yeah, I don't know how Zillah did it, but she did it with checkbooks and stuff, and she's been a brilliant manager, hands down. She's been great. So she's also bought me my first sampler. I think for my 18th birthday, she bought me a record deck and a tape to tape. And I've got another side where I've written loads of rave music and drum and bass and techno and all sorts of, like, you know, atmospheric stuff, and completely addicted to writing music. So it was like provided bit by bit. I mean, it's been, you know, we've gone without food for a week and stuff to be able to buy some of the stuff we've got, but it's been the only way, really. You have to have stuff at home. You can't be going, oh, I want to book. I need to edit my films, and then you're going to go and book it in the studio. Yeah, if you have to get up early, get on transport, do whatever it is to get there, meet them, settle down, get the thing. You don't get any work done. If you have an 8-hour shift, an 8-hour session, you'd be lucky to get 2 solid hours of music, explaining stuff. Oh, shit, I couldn't do that. We did it with Zillah's, when Zillah was originally doing the film. We were working with someone called Mark Saunders at Spectacle, who's passed recently, so it's absolutely shocking. I won't be able to show you in the film. He was the cameraman and had all the kit that we did the original interviews with. Punk in general has provided a catchment area of people with special abilities that aren't in the mainstream, because they think alternatively. They're vegans and or have different political views or are experienced in different ways. So being punk, in my views, has helped me meet some amazing people. Mark Saunders is one of them. And so it's done. But it was we had to drive to South London. And then Zillah found out, like, see, then I was drinking. So they got a 4 cans of special brew, be sitting in the corner doing whatever, getting drunk, watching what Zillah was doing, and she'd say, the edit we did last week was wiped off the hard drive because they were limited with the amount of hard drive they had. And I'm like, I was like, what? So the last week was completely wiped away, and you've got to start again. And it happened a couple of times. And I said to Zillah, look, I don't know how we're going to do this, but let's get whatever it is we need. Is it a Mac? Let's get a Mac. And let's get whatever program that is, Final Cut. And I said, I'm going to learn it. I don't know how to get it on tick, whatever. Get it for me. And I'm going to learn it. I'm going to learn how to do that editing thing, to chop up all your footage. Because if you do it the other way, you know, it's even like I don't know, make an album. If you have to go and sort it out with all the other band members, it takes forever, it costs a fortune. So that's why I kind of got into doing everything at home. You know, I can do all my artwork at home. I can do it like Illustrator, Photoshop, sort of InDesign. I can master my own music. I can make my own films. I can print my own T-shirt. I don't know what it is about DIY. Well, having a source of money, because there is bankrupt all that. But we've learned, because it's so hard to get anything done anywhere else, really.
Yeah.
I think that's, you know, you have to know special people, and they have to, like, you know, you've got to get mates rates, and I think without those people, you know, things like Zillah's project wouldn't have been done. I'm going to put a thing in at the end of the film, just in memory of Mark, because he did so much work. He just let us do what we want, and he has a huge archive of film that we've still got. Yeah, I feel very passionate about the film because it tells a story of people that haven't had their stories told, and I feel that the whole systemic misogyny thing is way bad, and it runs deeper than you could. Every documentary about punk is Pistols, Clash, the Ramones. You might get a bit of Susie, a bit of Polly, but it's terrible. You know, this is
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we've got we've got enough for a series as well. That's the best bit.
Yeah.
And I've edited it all. It's already done, edited. That's why it's taking so long.
And this film you're doing proves the point as well. It says, yeah, we have got a lot of women here who were into punk, who helped start punk, you know, who have contributed some really cool stuff, and you're just bypassing them.
I don't have my exact facts, but I think somebody from Disney had said that they wanted to start ironing out having female leads and stuff like that. I mean, it's been happening for a long time, but since I've been doing the film and I've been kind of magnifying those things, I can't get over it. It's speechless how bad it is. It's gonna blow people away. There'll be kids using this in universities for centuries to come. You know, it's always gonna go down to me.
You and Zillah's relationship is just so strong, and there's so much love between you.
It's Zillah. I put it all down to Zillah. Jeez, she managed to save me on some mad roller coaster, alcoholic binging, whatever thing. It wasn't good for me. It's been difficult, we've worked really hard, and it's been difficult as punks doing anything, being even slightly alternative. I remember working for the gas board and being told, I've worked as a chef most of my life. That's why I came to London. As a qualified chef, got all sorts of hours, and thinking like you're missing out on going to festivals, and I think one day Zillah said, you know, what do you want to do? Do you want to be like a, you know, because I was executive head chef at that point. I was running two £12 million what they call units for catering, internal units where you're doing the catering for the staff, but they were just like murder units, and they couldn't get anyone to do those jobs. So I was like not appreciated. Nothing was reciprocated. Couldn't get any time off. I worked like a month on, no days off, while I was covering my staff. You know, I did all the timesheets, so everyone got all their time off. And if I had to cover everyone, that's what I did. And I said to my boss, if you can't sort it out, I'm going to walk. And I did in the end. And then I worked. So I brought down to two £12 million units because they couldn't get me time off. You made it. And the company they fucked them. And I went to work for Zillah had a charity. She was teaching disabled, disadvantaged kids to about the age of 18, sort of front of house and catering skills. So I went and worked for Zillah. And we went to an exhibition, and I saw all the catering exhibition, saw all the chefs from Park Lane, and they all begged me to come back. Please come back. Oh my God, there's a lot. People have been serving up. Hilarious. So yeah, that was my claim to fame, that I could cook food good enough for best chefs in the world. That was good. But yeah, like Zillah said, like, do you want to work for other people that don't care about you, that you're expendable, and you're gonna have this belief that you love this job, and you're gonna put everything into this job for them to then fuck you over or whatever. And Zillah said, what do you want to be? You want to be a rock star, or you want to be a fucking chef? And I think it was obvious, and I'm not sure when that was. We lived in Aldgate, and before we moved here, so it's like 25 years ago. Yeah, and I got diagnosed, so yeah, it didn't help. But I love playing drums. Yeah, we spent 2 years without a drummer when he claimed to be more overwhelming. That's about it. So so we rehearsed for 6 months with that guy for him to be the drummer. We did a couple of gigs, and he decided to tell us he was leaving point blank. That's it. Like 48 hours before we had a gig booked with Sexing Children at the 100 Club. I don't know what the guy was thinking, but you don't cancel. There's a big rule. If you value gigs, you don't cancel on anyone. You'd have to be literally on death's door to have to cancel. And this guy was he said, "I'll just cancel." And the reason Zillah's got a good reputation as a manager is because she doesn't fuck about, for a start off, and she doesn't let anyone down. If we say we're going to do a gig, we're going to do a gig.
Yeah.
And that's it. Nothing's going to change that. So I thought, oh fuck that. I'm not going to let anyone down. There were people excited that we were going to do it. Like playing with Sex Game Children. I mean, what an honour for a start off. So I wrote all the drums on an emulator. So yeah, quick long story, but buying bits of equipment, and I started with some MIDI stuff because I've been writing the albums at home, and I write all the drums on an emulator of different sorts. I had the ability to I thought, fuck it, I'll write just the drum tracks then, so that we can do the gig, because like if we'd have cancelled, I know for a fact that like the promoter would have been, Rubella Ballet, they let me down. It's not good cancelling. So yeah, I managed to, because I love drumming so much, I was able to write everything that I would play exactly note by note, and then you work out the velocity so that the snare beats don't. If you're going to do a roll, they're not all at 100%. They don't go. It's like you humanise stuff. So that took quite a while, and yeah, so we did it, and it turned out it's really good. And we did that for 2 years, and soul destroying when people were doing a review, put like, oh, Rubella Ballet, blah blah, playing to a drum machine. Show me what drum machine can fucking play drums like that. Unbelievable.
Yeah, fuck 'em, you know what? You just got to get up there and fucking do it, Sid, like you do,
Drum machine. Yeah, just get a drum machine to it. But yeah, it's really good. I think just because I love drums so much, and I've got the time and the patience to write all that stuff in, but it saved the band, for sure, saved the band. And we have a new drummer that has only done one rehearsal and 2 gigs, and she plays with the same stamina I do. Her name's Kath. She whacks the living shit out of drums. Funny story, with first rehearsal, she said to me that Emily and Zillah were making a cup of herbal tea, and Kath said, "Have you got any earplugs?" And I was like, "No, I'm all right." She was like, "You should, sure." I was like, "No, I'm all right." She goes, "Because if I'm really loud," I went, "No, that's fine." And then a bit later on, she goes, "Are you sure you haven't got any earplugs? Because you're really going to need them." I went, "No, we're hardened punk rockers." And then she asked me a third time, "Are you sure, Sid? Because I'm really worried because I drum really loud." I was like, "Well, that's what we're looking forward to." And yeah, so first rehearsal, blew me away. But basically, Kath had what I call the meat and bones of all the songs, and the beginnings and the endings have changed over the years with different bits. But she blasted through and brought the dynamic back to the band, because there's just something you can't replace, that deafening sound of a fucking drum kit. And then the guitar's got to turn up really loud to compensate, and so does the bass. And so that wall of noise that is like this wall of this like wave of punk that Zillah sings on. it's so different when you've got a real drummer. Even though I've spent fucking hours, even like stayed up at like 3-4 in the morning the night before gigs, mastering the tracks out, going into each track and making sure it's right, and then mastering it so that it's, so all the drums, you have to do the opposite of what you're doing on an album. You have to take all the reverb off, you have to make them sound very flat and sounding really fucking terrible, because you're going to amplify the living fuck out of them. So they create their own reverb and stuff. So that was kind of a challenge. But yeah, so we managed it. Some gigs the drums were fucking brilliant, deafeningly loud, and the engineer got it right. Didn't put it through a channel and try to add extra bass and all that, because it's already mastered. It says it in the things we send them. But the difference when Kath came, it was amazing. It was it gave the drummer in me was brought alive again. And I was catching myself watching fucking drum videos late in the night. I play guitar like that. What the fuck? But the good thing is with Kath, she also is a guitarist, and the fact that we can talk the same language is really good. Like literally, there's so many technical terminologies for drumming that used to just go over the head of a lot of other people. So she has a degree. She's got a degree in drumming.
Nice.
Yeah. Fuck. But yeah, so that's something else I was going to say about drumming. It's really weird that we've been getting some gigs with Kath, and it's been cool the last 2 years, I suppose, in a way, having been in charge of the drum playback, other than what the PA does now, allowed to have it, to be in control of all that is really good. Being in control of the drum kits is really weird, because in the olden days, so when I was drumming, every kit you get, if you're going to go to a venue and you say, "Can you supply a kit?" they'd always have 2 hanging toms, snare, 2 toms, and a floor tom. It's what's called a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-piece kit. Over the years, like I've always drummed with, so you got 4 drums, so you can play a 4-bar. So you go. Over the years, I don't know why, if people have been teaching kids a different way of drumming, more often now you'll see a kit with just the 1 tom-tom floating. All the drummers will know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're taught to play, if you're taught with 4 drums, snare, 2 toms, and a floor tom, that it's a way that you learn drums that way, and you got muscle memory, and that's you do a roll around a kit, a 4-bar roll around a kit, it needs 2 floating toms. Now, since I didn't really notice it, because I played guitar for the last 10 years or whatever it is. I didn't really notice what was going on with the kit. And most kits now seem to have this one tom-tom. And our drummer, if he's going to drum like me, has the 2 floating toms. And when I drummed at Rebellion in 2024, at the end of our set, we did Tube Disaster with Colin Conflict. I asked their drummer to set my kit up, and I didn't realise that when I got to sit down to the kit, that there was only one tom-tom. And I said to the crew, I said, "Where the fuck do you have a tom-tom?" So they would say it would take too much time to go and find it. So I said, I'll adapt. I mean, yes, I can play with one tom-tom, but I can't do the things I used to do with that. So we did the gig, and it was great. Everyone loved it. But I didn't do what I wanted to do because for some reason, that extra tom-tom has been ironed out of existence. I don't know what's going. It's like some conspiracy. People would be going, "You're mental, Sid. What are you fucking on about?" Honestly, I'll say to everyone, like, our drummer is like, Kath is like, she keeps saying, I have to ask the venue about the drum kit and to make sure there's 2 floating toms. So somebody said to me, "Oh, the bloke didn't know what 2 floating toms was." What? We got floating toms, hanging toms. Like, what the fuck? What's going on here? So that's weird. It's and I worked it out that a lot of drum teachers are teaching kids what's called the Buddy Rich technique. Even though Buddy Rich has been seen playing all sorts of with toms, but they're teaching him how to play with one tom, and they do crossover stuff. And I think it's people. I don't know. It's old rock drummers used to use. I mean, I've had 4 floating fucking toms. Well, actually, if you could with a timbali, yeah, I've had 4 tom-toms, a timbali, floor tom, 2 snares. So I don't know why. I don't know what's going on, and I keep saying, "Don't worry, that other tom-tom will be in the cupboard, in the broom cupboard, around the curtain." I don't know why people have taken them off now. That's really weird. It's a weird drum conspiracy. It's like they're only allowing us to. I'll tell you why it is. I also know why it is. It's the style. People have stopped playing standard style. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, boom, ka, boom, boom, ka. The standard, yeah.
Yeah.
The double time is boom, da, da, boom, da. That's double time. That's double time. Yeah. Half time. Half time. So a lot of songs, punk songs, don't play. They're doubling the snare. So if you're playing, you literally don't have the space to go. So it's actually been, that style was being ironed out of like faster, I don't know what you would call it, sort of speed punk, I call it. But all it is, it's not music being played faster, it's just the drums, the snare drum playing twice as many beats as it would do with a normal beat. 1, boom, boom, pow, boom, boom, pow, boom, boom, pow. But you hear the snare 4 times in 8 bars. When you're playing double time, it turns into a song where people could be slamming and, the pit would go round because it sounds like it's doubling up. It's kind of changing the dynamics of the song. Is it like, so yeah, bring back the extra tom. Fucking t-shirt. Tom conspiracy.
Title of the next Rubella Ballet album.
Yeah. This is not what's it called, a Mandela effect. Remember when Kits had 2 toms? No, that's just you, Sid.
Oh, can you tell us about your time in Flux of Pink Indians?
Again, down to Zillah, because she did all the driving. She drove me from Epping to North Weald, where we actually started rehearsing. There's back at the Triad, had the Triad pub where we used to go when I drummed with the Epileptics. They had it was a complex there. They had a big like yard on the other side and some buildings. We used to rehearse there.
That's in Bishop Stortford.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's opposite is it South Hill Arts Centre?
Could be, yeah.
I think I do Pilates in there now.
Yeah, there was a couple of rooms. It was, but I remember it wasn't the actual build. It wasn't actual Triad, but they had. Yeah, you went into the car park and you got out, and then went to the. On the left of you was the Triad, and then on the right there were some other buildings, and then I remember rehearsing there. I'll probably have to call Zillah in because she's like my memory. I drank my memory away, but yes. Anyway, I remember rehearsing there. I remember her rehearsing there. It's weird because there was a gig that we went to there where Rubella Ballet were playing, and I swear it was like our first gig. Zillah, because it wasn't. And anyway, and a load of skinheads turned up, which was they were in another bar, and the bass guitarist of Flux, Neil, said that he was playing bass for this band just randomly, and they started playing, and he realised that they were a skinhead band, and he was like, "Oh, I can't believe it." I remember we only spoke about this with him a while ago, and he said, "Yeah." So that whole evening, turns out I was actually playing bass for the band, the Skinheads, that came into your gig. That's what they were there for. So I remember just all these fucking skinheads being there. Because until after the Epileptics gig, that's when they changed their name. They had to change their name to Flux and stuff. And then I remember they were asked by Crass to do the single. And the story goes, basically, they had Tube Disaster written. It was written by Kevin, and they didn't have anything for the B-side, any new songs. So Jim's going to kill me for this. I've been writing songs for Rubella Ballet because we'd been formed for a while, and we were just trying to get some songs together. And I had, because, like I said, because I was just wanting to be different. I mean, Rubella Ballet, we're different. Really? A bit different. Well, we just did everything different. I didn't drum. All the bands that came out around that time, they all drummed like Penny and tried to sound like Crass. And that's great if you want to emulate that sound. But I don't know, we didn't do everything differently because we didn't like Crass. And I think that the press sometimes wrote that down after we'd had interviews where we were trying to say we wanted to be different, we wanted to be unique. We didn't want to fit into a mould and do, I don't know, but it's like people seem to have got the wrong idea that we didn't like Crass because we didn't want to be like that. You're wearing day glow because you don't like Crass. No, we're not fucking doing that, We're writing sort of fucking gothy punk dance music, and they started calling it poppy and all that because we don't like Crass. It had nothing to do with that. We were that's the thing. We weren't trying to do anything. We had nothing scripted. We weren't trying to be anything. We didn't say, "Oh, let's be a band and let's in 20 years' time write a fucking autobiography and let's do." Man, it was fucking boring, right? There were no youth clubs. There was nothing. There was literally nothing to do. So that's why we ended up doing music and trying to be a band. And I had 2 songs, and I said, I've got a couple of drum beats that I'd come up with and bass lines that I'd written. And they were like, "Oh, great." So I told them, and we then recorded it, and they put it on the B-side. And it was only till about last year that I started getting royalties for my 2 songs on the B-side, because other people had claimed it. It was a bit weird, but it turns out that one of them was called Background to Malfunction, where I'd written the guitar and the bass line and the drums, and Sick Butchers were written the bass line and the drums, and Colin wrote the lyrics. They were going to be like Sick Butchers has got quite a tribal beat on it. Totally not anything like Flux. So it's like Flux got that unique difference in the drumming that Rubella Ballet had, because it was me on those 2 tracks, and it came over like that. I mean, they like Zillah was, they were blown away by how I played the drums, totally blown away. So I told Zillah I gave them the track. She was not at all happy with it, because they were really good tracks. I remember we went to record them in the at Triad Studios. Penny said to me, "How'd you do a roll around a kit like that?" Because I put the drums right in front of the control window, so literally watching me drum. And the story goes that allegedly, as I was drumming for Tube Disaster, they put a click on me. They ran a click at the same time as me drumming, without me hearing it, and they said that I stayed in time with the click for like a minute and a half till they turned it off, and so allegedly I've got this rock solid tempo, and they were pretty impressed. And it's I don't know, it's weird. Throughout all the time that I've drummed, I've had people say to me things like, "You don't have to hit them that hard. You don't have to put that much effort in. You don't have to have your cymbals that high. You don't have to have your tom-toms so high. You don't have to have your drumsticks so thick. You don't, I'm fucking sick of people telling me what they think I'd be fucking doing. And it was the amount of times people, when we did gigs, people would say, I need to change everything. I'd set the kit up and I'd have everything fucking like really high and the tom-toms up. That's how I played it. Just like, I had the energy to do that. And then other bands would go, "Can I borrow your kit, mate?" And then they'd undo everything they've just done, and they'd bring all the cymbals down and move all the completely rearrange the whole kit. Which, like, talk about fucking annoying. But we did let everyone use our kit. We got through, like I said, without Zillah bankrolling us every time we went on tour and buying new skins and cymbals and fucking sticks and stuff, we wouldn't be able to do it. So, but it's like so then Rubella. So I started playing Flux at the same time as Rubella Ballet, doing some gigs where Flux were supporting Rubella Ballet, and I'd play for them. Have 5 minutes off, and then play for Rubella Ballet, and I just had like endless energy. It's just so much energy. It's fucking brilliant, and I really enjoyed it. It was because I've been playing with I've been going to rehearsals and jamming with people like Ray Shell from Ritual, who is the king of fucking tribal beats, and we'd play together like in unison, playing fucking polyrhythms and whatever they were called, we didn't even know. We just play stuff, and it would just sound fucking amazing. And I wish I had a recording of that. But yeah, it was just the whole thing really about. I suppose my drumming is really quite unusual. Everyone says, "Oh, you've never get someone to replace me with the way I drum," and I don't know. It's just it was never contrived or anything. I never made it up to be difficult. It just came out like that. It's really weird. But yeah, I think as a guitarist, I love playing guitar, but I think there's definitely a drummer, like still a drummer like in there waiting to do something. And great to talk to you, Mary.
Good to talk to you too, Sid.
Yeah. I'm going to do this one. Thank you very much.
And I'll see you soon. I'll see you out and about soon.
Yeah, well, we're going to find that extra tom-tom. Bring back that second tom-tom.
Final words. I'll see you later, Sid. Thank you for listening to Punk Rock Creatives Podcast, and we'll see you next time. Bye.